Hey guys, I'm JanetOnOccasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer 2 Battle Replay. This one was sent in by Zer0, and it's a cracking one. Here, he's playing as Chaos, and he's against the Wood Elves. So, straight up, right in the front, Marauder Horsemasters. These guys, great missile damage. They can do a ton of work against a lot of the very low armoured targets that are pretty common in any Wood Elf roster. The Spellcasters and the Lords are even very low armour for the most part. Zer0, I guess, not so much, but yeah, Zer0's a bit slow, so you don't tend to bring him against Chaos, because Chaos tends to be quite slow, but also very, very, very stompy. You really want to keep your distance from Chaos in this matchup for the most part. So, Marauder Horsemasters tend to do very well. Also, front line of Chaos Marauders, even quite a few in the back as well. Yep, a lot of Chaos Marauders. These guys, they're cheap as chips. They've got bronze shields, but even if they had no shields at all, they can still soak up arrows. They're not really worth the cost of the arrows, to be honest. So, they're great for that. They are absolutely great for that, and they can actually go toe-to-toe with Eternal Guard pretty well, because Eternal Guard, they waste all their expense with their armor-piercing and anti-large, and that's not going to help against the Marauders, so the Marauders just going to have a whale of a time. So it's pretty nice, so very cost-effective there. Also, Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights, very sturdy, a ton of armor, and bronze shields, so they can withstand all but Waywatcher fire pretty damn well, and they are quick enough to catch out a lot of sort of the slower units. If they barrel into any of the infantry, they can do a ton of work. They're very, very sturdy, so I really like these guys, and they have very good mass, so they can block in things for Kolek to smash with old Sun-Eater here. Yep. He's very, very capable, so he does a ton of damage, and Stand or Die is, it's handy. Lord of the Storm, really good for just taking out the odd little blob of thing, but mostly he just hits like a truck, and that's why you have him. He's also very quick, a lot of mass. He can run straight through Eternal Guard if it means hitting something on the other side of them. Also, Chaos Sorcerer of Fire, Fire Magic, always really handy. So he's got Fireball and Cascading Fire Cloak. The Cascading Fire Cloak really helps in a duel, keeps Kolek going against dragons and things, so very nice to have that. Oh, and it'll put up his armor-piercing melee damage, which is also pretty great. And Fireball, great for sniping out Lords and Heroes. Solid Damnation. It's got a big range. It's kind of it, really. I mean, that's kind of it. You can just pick a target and go for it. So, any of the archers, sure, they're spread out, but you will whittle them down over time. And they can do some good damage to sort of big blobs of Eternal Guard. Whatever you want to shoot at, it'll do a ton of damage. So, it's pretty damn good, very capable, and just handy. Just handy to be able to actually outrange something, be able to shoot any direction you want. If there's a threat, you can shoot at it. Just like that. Just like that. Also, a couple of hounds. Gotta have some hounds. Gotta be able to chase things. Gotta be able to do that. And here, Glade Riders Hagbane tips. Well, they need to get chased. There's 3 of them. Going to be impossible to catch them otherwise. And really good range. They outrange the Marauder Horsemasters quite considerably. So you can see the Horsemasters having to get a hasty retreat. The poison slowing them down, allowing more volleys. These guys, very capable. Here, 3 units of Waywatchers. Huge armor piercing. That's going to hurt. Ton of Eternal Guard in the back. And like I said, Marauders can trade very well there. But here, this is very nice. He has Spellsinger of Shadows for Enfeebling Foe, and he has a Spellsinger of Life in here as well, that I can't really click on, who has nothing but Earthblood. So really nice just to have those 2 guys that can fly around and just harass things if they want, chase things down, chase things off the battlefield, and 2 very good utility spells. So speeding things up. You can see the Chaos Knights are pushing in to try and do what they can. It's chasing these guys off, but it's going to be a bit rough for them. It's going to be a bit rough. They're never going to catch up. And all it's doing is getting the attention of the Waywatchers. You can see the other unit has taken a ton of damage already. And now they're trying to flee. Oh, and Prayer of Anathema. It was inevitable. It was absolutely inevitable. But you've got to put the pressure on. You've got to put the pressure on. And with these guys now in line of sight, thanks to the Marauders pushing forward, the Hell Cannon can start killing a few. So 5 of them are dead. And when you think they have 20 ammo, I mean, that's 100 fewer arrows that are going to hit people just with those 5 kills. That's considerable, considering how much damage each arrow does. So Chaos Knights are charging off, which is a real pity, and the Hounds are coming in. If the Hounds had come in a little bit sooner, maybe these units could have been chased off a bit while the Chaos Knights were pinned, and they wouldn't have necessarily been able to get as many shots off on the Chaos Knights. So here, Lord of the Storm coming in, trying to kill some of these Glade Riders, and not bad. Not bad, considering how spaced out they are. So Kolek's in here, getting some great damage into the Spellcasters. They're having to heal up. And the Marauders are all pushing forward. Dragon has taken some damage from Fireballs and Horsemen. Horsemen doing very well to do just a ton of work here. But you can see, with the distance between the Hell Cannon and the rest of the units, the Forest Dragon is trying to come in here to go for the Solid Damnation. But Zer0 can see exactly what's happening. He's sending Kolek and the Marauder Horsemasters back. And that's going to be very bad for the Glade Lord, especially with the odd fireball coming in as well. So these guys really running low on models. The Hound's got a great charge in here. All the damage on this unit was just done by the Hounds. That is super cost effective. There's quite a few dead. That is quite a few dead. So Hounds, really cost effective here. Kind of, you know, got to wish you had more of them, really, because, yeah, half a unit of Waywatchers, that's massive. That is massive. Super cost effective. So here you can see the Forest Dragon is having to run away. So that is a pity. That is a real pity. But another fireball coming in. Another fireball coming in. Is it going to hit a tree? No, it's not. It's going to hit a dragon. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So here you can see the Chaos Marauders. They're doing great against the Eternal Guard. The Eternal Guard will win this, but only because the Glade Riders, all the Waywatchers, they're all firing in here to help. And that is not a good use of their ammunition. It's exactly what the Marauders are for. And this whole goon squad of the Spell Singers flying around. Over here, these Chaos Knights, they charged into a wavering Eternal Guard, but the Eternal Guard are doing so well fighting them, they're totally confident again. And with the encouragement from the Spell Singer, it's just keeping them in the fight. And those Chaos Knights took a ton of damage for no reason. That is a real pity. So over here you can see the Eternal Guard are being held back by the Chaos Marauders there, but another unit is coming in. More Marauders that had fled are coming in to block them, but they are very weakened at this point. So Solid Damnation still trying to get some kills, but it's looking a bit rough. Now you can see the Waywatchers are all firing at the Marauder Horsemasters, but it's bobbing and weaving a bit, so a lot of those shots are being missed, and that is more hits on the Waywatchers. These guys are suffering quite a bit, but so is the Chaos Army. I mean, both of the Chaos Knights have been wiped out, all the Marauders are looking pretty damn injured, and, I mean, Kolek's doing okay, but another prey of Anathema, and those Marauder Horsemasters are toast. But luckily, they have used most of their ammunition, so they have got value. But even with these units getting a lot of value, there's still a lot of Wood Elves to contend with. Luckily, the Hounds are back, so they'll be able to charge in again at some point, which is very nice. While these Chaos Knights are back, there's only 8 of them and they're already wavering, so it's not going to take much. These Chaos Knights are back too, but again, just getting shot to pieces. Just shot to pieces, which is a real pity, but it is allowing time for the units over here. So, where's old Kolek? Where's he gone? Here he is, he's coming in. So another Earthblood, and you can see the Marauder Horsemasters cascading Fire Cloak on them, because they are vital in pinning this stuff down. It's not a good fight for them, so you may as well buff their stats, Scroller's Shielding as well. It means they're not taking half as much damage as they would have done, and it's buying time for Kolek to come in, and the Marauder Horsemasters are able to keep the Spell Singers pinned. Sadly, I don't think it quite paid off. Not quite. It was only really one hit he managed to get out of that. But it kept him busy, it kept the Spell Singers busy, and yeah, they would have just kept chasing anyway. So it's not too bad. Not too bad. So Kolek, he's near the Sorcerer. He could come in and break the Eternal Guard pretty quickly, I think, but he wants to keep out of the way of the Waywatchers. The Waywatchers, they're trying to shoot at the Chaos Sorcerer, but they keep missing. He is a very small target. Over here, though, Solid Damnation is just so bogged down. There's no hope for that. He's throwing in units to try and bog them down again. And, oh, is Kolek going to get another hit? No, he's not. That's a miss. Poor Kolek. Anyway, Forest Dragon. Well, the Glady, very injured. Looks like another Fireball is going to come in. That is an overcasted Fireball, though, so he miscast that. So that's damaging the Chaos Sorcerer. But it will help do some more damage if it hits. It doesn't hit. That is sad. That's a lot of Winter Magic. Well, a lot more than just a regular Fireball. And with only 50 armor, you don't necessarily need to overcast it to get some good damage into that Glade Lord. So it's a pity, especially with the miscast, putting his health down. And now the Spell Singers are after him. That's an enfeebling foe, but luckily, Kolek's on the case. One massive hit on the Spell Singer of Shadows. They both got dragged into this combat. Another hit on the Spell Singer of Shadows. Another hit on her. And one more crushes it. Wonderful. So that was a hell of a get by Kolek there. Yeah, look at him jumping up, rearing up and down, jumping for joy. Another Fireball coming in for the dragon. And, yep, things are looking a bit bad for this dragon. Ooh, that's bad. Less than 1,000 health. At this point, he can't really afford to land. Kolek gets one good hit on that Glade Lord, and she's going to shatter. And that is not good. That is not good. Here you can see Marauder Horsemasters coming back. Marauder Horsemasters, here, Hounds, they managed to sneak in from around the back to help out the Marauders, get rid of some of these Eternal Guard, because you don't want to be fighting just tons of Eternal Guard, you know. You don't really want all these extra units pinning you down while you get shot at. No, you want to take them out. So these guys managed to get in there, do some work, and now they're going to get out of there. And once more, Waywatchers are shooting at far cheaper units than they want to be shooting at. They really want to be shooting at someone like Kolek, but they just can't get to him. He's being able to stay away from them the whole time. So Eternal Guard are trying to come in. He's going to smash them. Another miscast from the Sorcerer. But if this fireball hits, it might be worth it, because that Glade Lord is super injured. Down to 240 health, but another Earthblood coming in, trying to keep him in the fight. Well, keep her in the fight. Maybe the dragons are him, I don't know. So, Glade Lord, broken, but with 600 health. Might come back. Might come back. But that's been a lot of Winds of Magic already, so we'll have to see how many more fireballs Zer0 can conjure here. So, more arrow fire, but most of it is missing again. Most of it is missing, and they are really running low on ammunition here. Really low. Here you can see the Glade Riders. They're still going to be quite useful for chasing down Marauders, and oof, that's bad for the Sorcerer, but also very bad for the Glade Lord. 64 health on the Glady. That is rough. That is incredibly rough. But, is that a dead Sorcerer? Yeah, I think he died, didn't he? I think that was it, but that was pretty much the last shots these Way Watchers had. And given how late it was in the battle, I can't imagine he had many more fireballs left in him. You know, with the Winds of Magic, I'm not sure he could have managed it. I think those arrows would have been far better used against Kolak, because everything's charging in now, and they don't really have the DPS to stop them. I mean, there's a Spell Singer, but we've seen what happens when Kolak gets his hands on a Spell Singer. Now, stand or die. So, big leadership buff, so these rear charges aren't necessarily going to matter too much. And the Spell Singer is starting to take some considerable damage. Looks like she's going to break soon. Lord of the Storm doing some pretty good damage to these Glade Riders too. They're pulling away. Look like they might break. Balance of power shifting in Zer0's favour. Despite the huge losses to all of his infantry, his very expensive cavalry, Kolak was untouched, and without any ammunition, nothing can really compete with him. So, Dragon, did she come back? No, she's gone. She's gone. She's gone. Nothing has the damage potential to really deal with Kolak anymore. So it's just a matter of time before the rest of these units get chased off. Here you can see very wisely the Wood Elf player is trying to just sneak in and deal with the odd unit on the outskirts, just to try and leave Kolak on his own. Just to try and get him secluded. I mean, it's all you can do at this point. Just try and whittle down everything else you can. But with leadership this bad from the Lord going and the damage sustained, it's not going to take long for Kolak to come in here. One good hit and they're going to terrify. There we go. Not even a hit. Yeah, again there. Didn't even have to hit them. And now they fall on broken. And that is the Glade Rider shattered. Now the Hounds can turn their attention to the next lot. The Hounds are brilliant at this. And the fact that despite getting caught out, doing some great damage to the Way Watchers, by the way, which is amazing, they still got away and they've still come back in and been super useful. So at this point, he calls it quits. There's no way. There's just no way to deal with Kolak at that point. Used too many of his resources too early. And that's a real pity. But, I mean, you can kind of see where he's coming from using those Prey of Anathramas. You know, one on the Chaos Knights, because having a couple of units of Chaos Knights charge in, they're going to do some serious harm to you if you can't stop them in a hurry. And the Way Watchers need to be focusing on one if they're going to break it, or else one of those knights will get to them. It's that simple. So you've got to pin them down. You've got to stop them, or else they will just charge straight through your lines. It can be incredibly difficult. But the other one was used on the Maraud Horsemasters that were quite low on ammunition anyway. I mean, they were harassing the Glade Lord quite substantially, but they're quite big targets, quite big units. So one or two volleys from the Way Watchers, they would have died anyway. I don't think the Prey of Anathrema was necessarily useful. You could have even charged in with the Glade Riders as well, you know, to harass them and push them back. I don't think that would have been too much of a problem, and it would have left a Prey of Anathrema to use on Kolak if he was close to being in range, because there was no infantry left. You know, basically all the Marauders were done. You know, there were Eternal Guard left, but almost no Marauders. So he was able to push, you know? And he didn't, and that's sad. Just Kolak got away. It's that simple. Didn't kill Kolak. One Prey of Anathrema would have stopped him moving. Massive target, all those arrows would have hit. And you could have whittled him down hugely, and hopefully the Glady could have finished him off. But no, too delayed. Too delayed. You've got to seize the advantage, even when you've got a very kitey build. You need to seize those advantages. And sadly, he just wasn't quite able to. But man, it was a close game. Real close. Absolutely loved this one. So guys, if you enjoyed this, please do comment, like, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.